Torah on Vayeshev, Tzchanika Maimer, page 58. 8 lines from the top of the page. Okay, the Rabbi is explaining that the Chayes HaKodesh, in other words, basically the Nefesh Habamis comes from the Chayes HaKodesh, and those Chayes HaKodesh elevate the Adam Shalakisei, and he said that's why the blood was squirted Tzafayna Lifnei Hashem, because that bringing of the blood is elevating the Nefesh Habamis to taking the blood of the animal, which is the life of the animal, and you're squirting it on the Mizbeach Lifnei Hashem. Tzafayna is Tzaf and Hay, the hidden level of Hay, and that whole that. So this is what we're up to now. Give that Tzafayna Lifnei Hashem, B'china Tzafayna, which is Raj Gadol. Misnasiv and Eisim Esakisi, they elevate the chair of the throne. The Muz Kamar Adam Lamaylam B'chinas Adam. They elevate the Adam. If you pick up Adam, so where you're elevating it to a level higher than Adam, because the Chayes HaKodesh come from the world of Tehu, which is Lifnei Melach Malach Lifnei Yisrael, which is before there was a level of Tikkun. Like it says, this, the end of this week's parsha. So all these, like we learned, a person sustains themselves from food because food comes from Tehu, their Tikkun. Animals, the Nefesh Habamis comes from the world of Tehu. The Rash Gadol, the Malachim, that the source of the Nefesh Habamis is Rash Gadol. What do? They pick up, they elevate the Adam Shalakisei to a level of Lifnei Havaya. He's going to explain the Yud Ke Vav Ke is the person. Seich Yud is Chachma, He is Bina, Vav is 6 feet, Say is Malchus. So that's the whole life of a person. Vini Havaya Yud Chachma is the level of Adam. Mashen Kim Berash Gadol. But when there's the big commotion of the Malachim that come from the world of Tehu, Misnasim Lamaylam B'chinas Adam. They elevate the Adam to a level higher than Adam. Bezel Lifnei Hashem. What it says, they should sprinkle the blood Safayna. Lifnei Hashem, meaning higher than the level of Yud Ke Vav Ke. Shemisham Nimshach Sav is B'chinas Havaya, which is the source of Yud Ke Vav Ke. Okay? So therefore he says like this, the Avodah of the Jew in the Beis HaMikdash, like he was explaining, the Menorah, and then you have the Ketores, right? And then you have the Karbanos. So the Karbanos, basically the concept of the Karbanos is take things in the world of Tehu, and through bringing it in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, and the personal Nefesh Habamis, which also comes from the world of Tehu. Therefore, the Nefesh Habamis is stronger than the Nefesh Shulakis, because it comes from a higher level. Or if you want to put it that way, Yaakov and Esav is Nefesh Shulakis, Nefesh Habamis. Esav is born first. Esav is the B'chor. The B'chor is stronger. So therefore, you have all this level. And the Avodah is that down here we should elevate the world of Tehu back to the source. And when you elevate Tehu back to the source, it elevates the Jew with them. It elevates the level of Tikkun. Just like the blood of the carbon tablet that they squirted on the Mizbeach, on the northern part, Lifnei Hashem, was from the blood of the Nefesh Habamis, of the Behemah, right? Now the Behemah, they took the blood of the Behemah and they squirted it. The same thing, Tefillah, which is instead of Karbanis. What's the avodah of Tefillah? Aliyah is Vizkalas Nefesh Habamis Sheba. That even the Nefesh Habamis of the person, what should be its commotion, excitement, and level? In the level of Elokus. Gam Kim Berash God. Rish Be'ez shall have his B'tshuk of Tzimoin, that it should also have this tremendously powerful, strong urge for Kedusha. So he's explaining all these things in the Mishkan. Menorah is learning Torah. Ketores is the transformation of evil to good. And then you have Karbanos, that you take in the Nefesh Habamis, the blood of the Nefesh Habamis, the Chayes of the Nefesh Habamis, and you elevate it into Kedusha. V'zahu Adam Behemah Tishi Hashem. That's what the pasuk says. Adam Behemah Tishi Hashem. That a person and an animal Hashem saves. What does that mean? Havaya Behemah Sheba Adam Tishia. The behema of the person, in other words, like this: Adam u behema in the person, Teshi Hashem, that it should also Amshachas Bechinas Savayim, that it should also have the level of Yud Kei Vav Kei. The Tzimar Zud, basically, Alter Rebbe explained before, the neshama comes into the world not for herself. The neshama is Chelek Elokam Imal. The purpose of the neshama coming into the world, the reason why Hashem created the world, because of Reishis, Torah, and Jew neshamas, is the dafka to be in a nefesh habamis, dafka in a body, and over there to elevate the body and the nefesh habamis and the surrounding world, which comes from Tehu, back to the original source. And that's why Hashem made Olam HaTehu. Okay, and as the Medrash says, in the pasuk it's called Vayimlach Vayamas, Vayimlach Vayamas. They rolled, they died, they rolled, they died. Or as the Medrash says, the Medrash expression is, at the beginning Hashem was creating worlds and destroying them. And he said, Dein le'ana li, Dein le'ana, this is no good, this is no good. So simply, if you learn the Medrash without any brains, it means Hashem was trial and error. You know, Hashem created worlds, and no good, next. No, next. You know, like, which is obviously stupid and ridiculous. You don't say, Hashem, this is no good, so why, you know, Hashem is not us. Trial and error. What it means is, Hashem is creating Olam HaTehu, and the Shvir Tzekeh Vayimlech Vayamas, that the sparks have to come down. Okay? And he says, Dein le'anali, it's not, this is what I don't want, meaning in this level, what do I want? That the spark should come down. I don't want Tehu as Tehu up there. I want Tehu to come down into this world, the sparks of Kedusha, and the neshama of the Yid, through Torah mitzvahs, elevates all the sparks of Tehu. And that creates the Dira B'Tachteinu. So the open Dira B'Tachteinu, the dwelling place where it's Hashem's home, was the Mishkan, the Beis HaMikdash. That's where Hashem's Shechina was revealed. Especially in the Al Kodesh HaKadoshim, that Mokum Arin Einem in Amida, you know, there was above measurements and above measurements simultaneously. But now that there's no Beis HaMikdash, so now we have this Aveda within ourselves. So he said the Menorah is one Aveda, Titus is another Aveda. Because in order for us to create this home for Hashem, like the Mishkan, right? Every Jew needs to create a Mishkan within themselves. So we need to follow the things done in the Mishkan. The main Avedis of the Mishkan were, again, the Menorah, the Keteras, the Shulchan has a different Aveda. All these things are the Aveda of the Jew. So he says, what is it? This longing and desire that the Nefesh HaBamitz is supposed to have is a level b'chol levavcha. What is two bases? So it says b'shnei yitzirecha. But what does it mean? Shebelev yesh beis chalolim. There's two parts of in the heart. There's chol ha'yamani molei ave v'ruach, which is full of air, or as Alter Rebbe says, ein by dam. And then you have chol ha'smali molei dam. It's full of blood. Right? That's b'chol levavcha. By the way, the Rebbe explained when Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, b'chol yamani she'ein by dam, the Alter Rebbe says it doesn't mean there's no blood. There's no new blood. The old blood goes into the right side, and then it becomes refreshed in the left side. So when Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, ein by dam means no new dam. It's just getting the old dam to transform it into new clean blood, which is the heart. Mali dam shadam or nefesh, revius adam shenefesh tolibot. The revius of dam. The Gemara says a person needs a revius of dam, 3 ounces of blood, to be able to live. That's the minimal blood that a person needs. Which the heart, as Alter Rebbe says in the beginning of Tanya, is the Yeseda Eish, the Moyach, the brain which is cold, is the source of Mayim. The heart, which is warm, is the source of Eish. The that the wings of the things on the lung, menashim alalev, fan the heart, the kari mechamimus, to cool it down. The lung, the whatever you call them in English. And from the heart comes the longing of Elokus. So he says, what is the avodah of the Jew? Ultimately, to get the nefesh habamis, which is the union of karbanis, to get the nefesh habamis to be lifnei Hashem b'tzfeino tzofenei, to get the nefesh habamis to have the same longing to Elokus that the nefesh Elokis says. But like we mentioned yesterday, because the seichel, behemoth doesn't have seichel, so therefore the midah of the nefesh habamis is stronger than the midah of the nefesh Elokis. So that's why? Because it also comes from tehu, which is more powerful than teku. So when you could transform the nefesh habamis to Elokus, it's not stam double, nefesh Elokis and nefesh habamis. It's much more than double, because nefesh habamis is tshuka and desire and longing and fire and enthusiasm for Elokus is stronger than the one of the nefesh Elokis. And then he says, after this elevation of ruach, that one spirit brings down the next. Now that you elevated the behemoth, right, upward, you burned it on the fire of the mizbeach, it went upward. Then you bring down arms, upon him. Then you bring Elokus down. That's why davening is the sulam that olim v'yordim, even though Locher should be, Malachim should be Yordim first, but Sulam is the level of davening. First you go up, Momata Lamailo, and then once you get to the top, then you bring Elokus back down. That's why it says Olim v'Yordim on the ladder. Shem shemavato sat miyesh la'ayin. Just like David is to make the yesh back into the ayin, kachnim shechmo ma'ila miyayin liyesh. That what is the Aveda? After we elevate the Nefesh Habamis to Kedusha, then we bring down Elokus, that it should be revealed down here just as it is Lamaila. Just like in Atzilus, in those worlds, it's only Elokus. So through Aveda of elevating the world, making the world a vessel for Elokus, then we bring down Elokus down here. That's b'chol levavcha. Then it says b'chol nafshcha. B'chol keiches hanefesh machshava dibur ha'maiser. Like the Alter Rebbe explained before, Keteiros is machshava dibur ha'maiser. Right? He went from Menorah to Keteiros to Karbanis. Keteiros is the level of reach. Smell represents the levushim, the garments. That's why Yerichai, from the word Reach, Yerichai in Aveda represents Machshava Dibur HaMaisa. The land of Canaan, the 7 nations, represents the 7 midas. Now, in here the Alter Rebbe is saying, but in other Maimon, the Rebbe especially has a lot on this, that the midas of the Nefesh Habamis we cannot transform to Kedusha. Because then you have to be a tzaddik born in. Now, Beinoni can't. A Beinoni does not transform the 7 midas of the Nefesh Habamis. The Beinoni can control thought, speech, and action. That's the level of Reach. The Zohar says a story, this kid, this Yenuka, there was a Yenuk in the Zohar, who was an unbelievable kid. You see, it was Rabbi Amnuna Sava. But this Yenuka went over to somebody, he said, from the smell of your garment, I can tell you didn't say Krishma yet. From the Reach of your garment, I'm able to tell you didn't say Shema yet, which was true. What does Reach of the garment have to do with Shema? Because Reach has to do with, the Reach is Levushim, it has Inyan smell, and that Avodah, Machshava Dibur HaMaisa, every Jew could do. Every Jew could be a Beinoni. A Beinoni means you control your machshava d'ibur u'maisa. But the transformation of midas, you can't do. That explains, that's why Yeshua sent spies to Yericho, and they were successful, and Moshe Rabbeinu sent spies to Yisrael, and they weren't successful because Hashem said, I can't command you to do it. I can't command you to send spies. Why? Because not every Jew can elevate the 7 midas. Only you have to be B'ras Tzadikim. You have to be born a Tzadik. But Yericho, everybody's able to do. And so then he went from that, from Ketores, then he went into the level of Korbanos. He says, B'chol nafshcha, b'chol keiches nefesh, b'chol gam kol nefesh, klula meirat nefesh, ruach neshama. V'ikar nefesh, what is the primary level of the nefesh? Hamaskeles, kilchad lefum shiur delay, that understands every person on their own level. That means every person has to work on their machshava, dibur, and ma'aser on their level. Yesh mari mikra, there are people that could learn chumash. Yesh mari mishul Talmud, and he said that's the union of adlokas and eilis. Now he's going back to the level of Torah. He said the Menorah in the Beis Hamikdash can learn mitzvah v'Torah od. So the Menorah in the Beis Hamikdash is the level of learning Torah, right? But the Menorah at night, the Kohen lit all 7 Menorah, the candles. Yet in the morning, when he prepared the 2 candles, and then he lit the Ner HaZayin. So at night he lit all 7. In the morning he lit 1 or 2. Looking in Torah the Yismeir Torah b'chol nafshecha of nefesh hasichlis, and then through this you come b'chol me'edecha, b'chol mameincha, with all your money, which is the level of tzedakah, which is stam mitzvah maisis. So the Alter Rebbe is explaining, you have the level of Torah, okay? That brings to the level of Eidos HaKorbanos, that brings to the Ketores. And that's why the Menorah was lit at night, because it has to illuminate all 7 midas. But in the morning, is 1 or 2 enough. So he says, B'chol levavcha is the level of Korbanos. Love, the heart, to bring the blood, to take both sides of the nefesh habamis and bring it to Kedusha. And then he said, B'chol nafshecha. The nefesh refers to machshava d'ibur and ma'aser, that's learning Torah.
The Menorah and the Mizbeach of Torah were inside?
Yeah.
They were all inside, right?
Yeah, right outside the Kodesh HaKadoshim. The big Mizbeach was more outside. But in other words, that in spiritual level, that is more pneumistic level than the Mizbeach HaChitzon. Because bringing the nefesh habamis as a korban is more external, it's a lower level. The other levels are much greater. But the korbanis that was more visible to everybody, is much bigger also. You have all the kelim in the Beis Hamikdash. You have in Avodas Hashem. Okay, so I mentioned Shabbos that there's the Alter Rebbe used to say, the Alter Rebbe had a daughter, her name was Frida. Her name was Frida. She was brilliant. And the Alter Rebbe used to say Chassidus just for her. Just for her. And the Mittel Rebbe, her brother, would sneak into the room and hide in the oven, in the fireplace, wherever it was, to listen to Chassidus. And one time the Alter Rebbe was telling Friedke all about the garments of the Kohen Gadol in Chassidus, Kabbalah, and Avodas Hashem. And the Alter Rebbe didn't say the avnate, the gartel. And the Mittel Rebbe wanted to get his sister's attention, that she should ask the Alter Rebbe what's with the avnate. So he took his gartel and he was waving it in front of her. Anyway, the Alter Rebbe realized he was there, but it doesn't matter. But so there's stuff. The Alter Rebbe, I don't think those are things that he told her are printed. But the Alter Rebbe, there's in Chassidus all about them because that's the personal base of Mikdash. It's a fundamental aspect. The personal Mizbeach, the personal Menorah, the personal Shulchan, all these levels of. Even the Shulchan, it says you should make lechem aponim lefanai tamid. That's again the pnimius. Shulchan represents sustenance, gashmias, food, all these things. So you have all these different So he says, then you come to mitzvah b'chol meidach, which is all your money, which is the mitzvah of tzedakah. K'neider shemitzvah shem b'asiyah gashmis. Mitzvahs that were in physical. Ein b'chinas haktedas and some manim shem b'tam. Ein min meichel. So he says like this. You have certain mitzvahs in gashmias that are not food. Umehem nasa b'chinas reach eila l'mayla l'chazik and samerich l'oshav and nefesh. And you have like the Chassidus, right? The Chassidus was for smell. It wasn't a gashmi, it wasn't food. They weren't edible, they didn't have a taste. They had this, what's the purpose of smell? Smell is to keep the neshama in the body. Because something that the neshama bent, like Mitzvah Shabbos, you do Chassidus, because the neshama is leaving. So it's like calms the person down. So he said, that's the level of mitzvahs. What's the level of mitzvahs? That the nefesh shouldn't leave the body. The nefesh should be down here doing Torah mitzvahs. Not the nadav and avil trick. Rotza without the shave. That's the level of mitzvahs. Some mitzvahs tzedakah. Generally speaking, it's the mitzvah of tzedakah that the pasuk says, tzedakah teremim goy. Tzedakah elevates a nation. What does that mean? It elevates. Like the Alter Rebbe says, what's unique about tzedakah? He says, first of all, your whole body works for the money. He says like this, tefillin, you do with your hand and head. Right? Lulav, you do with your hand. What mitzvah do you do with your whole body? So he says, tzedakah, the money that you work to get, so you work with your whole body to get that money. So when you give tzedakah, it elevates the whole body. Or he says, even if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, so to speak, you're born rich, but never the hoil, the yachal liknis chay nafshik. The Alter Rebbe says sometimes, you could have bought food for yourself, and you didn't. So you give it to tzedakah, so that elevates the entire body. Which is also the whole purpose of mitzvahs, physical mitzvahs, to elevate the body. You have to elevate the body. So that primarily is the mitzvah of tzedakah, he says.
You don't make bracha for Shenatan Reyach Tov Leterot?
There is a bracha.
There is a bracha?
Yeah.
So for smell, we say a bracha?
Yeah, but no after bracha. Why is there no after? There's after bracha on food.
Because it's adding.
Why is there no after bracha on? So Shchonach says why. Because it's not lasting. It's something that the neshama benefits from. Once you smell it, it's over. Food, like you said, remains in the body. So there's a pool afterwards. But this, there's nothing. It comes and goes. That's it. So there's nothing to make it after bracha. Yeah, but smell, there's a bracha. Whatever it is, whatever smells good, you make a bracha.
Cologne, perfume.
Huh?
Cologne and perfume.
Sometimes it's for Avodah Zarah.